At this time, we're going to have a temple talk by our own Julie Sager.
Good morning, everyone. When intern Rebecca asked me to do this temple talk, I have to admit I immediately got a little nervous. I can talk till I'm blue in the face to a bunch of preschoolers, but public speaking to grown-ups is definitely a little out of my comfort zone. So I may or may not be picturing you as a bunch of 4- and 5-year-olds, and I apologize in advance if I start speaking in my teacher voice or snap my fingers at you if you're not paying attention. I grew up attending a large church in the Seattle area. My parents joined Grace Lutheran Church when they moved to the area when I was a preschooler. It was a wonderful church and a great community. I had lots of friends there. I went through confirmation and was active in the youth group. And Scott and I were married there by the same pastor that was my childhood pastor. We attended church at Grace Lutheran fairly regularly when we were first married. But when we moved to Missoula 25 years ago, Scott confessed to me that as wonderful as Grace always was, he never really felt like it was our church. Rather, it was my church. And I totally understood. Everyone in that church had watched me grow up. My parents were very active. My mom was the director of their preschool, and my dad was the Swede Gustafson of their church. Anytime anything broke, he was the first one to be called. So when Scott and I were looking for a church to attend with our newborn, we knew we wanted to find something that felt more like our church and not just mine. We attended Immanuel a couple of times and knew right away that it felt right. Everyone here was so welcoming. It wasn't too big or too small. I remember one Sunday that Scott was out of town and I was sitting by myself with Nate in the car seat carrier next to me, and I looked across the aisle and I saw Shelley Morris sitting by herself with Garrett in the car seat carrier next to her. We introduced ourselves after church that morning, and today Shelley and Dave Morris are some of our best friends, and our kids have grown up as lifelong best friends. Immanuel has always given me the comfort and community that I needed and was used to when I moved away from my close-knit family and friends and longtime church community. But Immanuel has also felt like such a big part of mine and Scott's married life and our decision to attend church together and raise our kids here. As someone who's known from a young age that I wanted to work with kids and ultimately studying education and becoming a teacher, gravitating towards kids' activities as a way to get involved in the church was very natural for me. Even before my own kids were old enough to attend Sunday school and VBS, I got involved volunteering and teaching. I've served on the Christian Ed committee for I don't know how long. Moving into the preschool director and teacher position when it was needed some 14 or 15 years ago also seemed like a very natural fit. And it came along at a perfect time when I was ready to go back to teaching a little more after mostly staying home with my kids. It seems fitting that it's Mother's Day and my mom is here visiting from the Seattle area. She was definitely my mentor and biggest cheerleader when I decided to take the preschool job. As I said before, she was the director of the preschool at their church for 20 years. I always looked up to her as a mom and teacher and was so grateful for her help, coaching, and sharing of resources when I was just getting started. Immanuel's preschool isn't huge, but we are so fortunate to have the support of this congregation and the use of the beautiful space in the basement. Since I've been the director, we've had years when enrollment's way up and years when it's been down. COVID definitely hit us hard, and the last couple of years have been a little slow. We're coming out of it, though, and doing some things to hopefully get enrollment back up. We're a small staff of just 2 lead teachers, but we always have assistants in the classroom. This year, both of us teachers have worn both the teacher and assistant hats, so we haven't had anyone else on staff. We're very proud of the quality of education we provide, preparing our students for kindergarten and beyond in a loving, welcoming, and Christian environment. Many of our students don't attend church at all, and some of them attend other churches. I think we as teachers, along with Sonia and Pastor Molly and intern Rebecca, who have all led chapel at different times, have done a great job of exposing our kids to the love and grace of God in a gentle, age-appropriate way and making them and their families feel welcome if they're searching for their own home church. I'm so thankful for Immanuel, for the people here, the pastors, former, Pastor Greg, and current, and for all of you for trusting me with the care and direction of the preschool for the last 15 years. I love the work I do here, as well as all the other children's ministries I've been involved in through the years. I love that my children grew up in such a loving place and trust that as they are entering young adulthood, they have had the same great foundation of faith education that I had to make informed decisions for themselves and their future partners and/or families. Today's fellowship hour actually will take place downstairs in the preschool area. I invite you all to come down after service and see our classroom, have some treats, and get an idea of what we're up to down there every day. Recently, we've been sharing this space with the Boys and Girls Club of Missoula, and they are really doing some exciting things with older kids. I think someone from their program is going to be down there also to answer questions. Thanks for listening, and I hope to see you all downstairs in a little bit.
Thank you very much, Julie, and for all your years of service with this preschool.